The power to move a nation forward takes root in the productivity of business and industries. As your Meralco corporate partner, we understand the role power plays in fueling the growth of your business, how it moves, how it brings things to life, how it drives your business, and ultimately, how it plays a role in building a nation. We have evolved from being a power distribution company to a total energy solutions provider.
We value the fact that Meralco has taken a very proactive approach to customer service and given us the ability to provide reliable and sustainable services to our customers, effectively tying our relationship with Meralco to our relationship with our customers.
There is power in partnerships. Partner with us today.
I'm Karen Go, Finance Manager at Silver Dragon Holdings Incorporated. We signed up for the ADA since 2003.
I'm Hector Kaunan. I'm the Vice President and Head of the Real Property Division for Insular Life Assurance Company Limited. Insular Life adopted the ADA sometime in 2005, so I think it's been 11 years now.
I'm Pat Tumbocon, Director for Treasury for McDonald's Philippines. It's more than 5 years ago when we adopted the automatic debit arrangement.
My name is Melvin Jantan, and I'm the General Manager and COO of Laguna Water, a Manila Water Philippine Ventures company. Well, we started to transition to ADA facility about 3 years ago, in 2013. We went to Meralco to look for a better solution on how we can streamline our payment processes, and they gladly pointed to us that there's an ADA facility that we can take advantage of.
Well, before we used to assign a person or a messenger to do the payments.
From the accounting side, they need to do a physical checks.
We had 133 stores, so all the billing statements are sent by Meralco to our stores, and the restaurant managers had to forward all these billings to us.
We used to spend about a week processing voluminous documents to make sure our payments are in on time and secured.
Mahirap para sa amin din yung ma-delay kami pa sa pagbabayad ng Meralco. Especially sa nature of business namin, which is 24 hours in operation. So, very important talagang electric sa amin.
To tell you honestly, there were instances that we weren't on time. In fact, at some point we were at the receiving end of customer complaints because one of our facilities, unfortunately, we missed paying it. So obviously, Meralco had to do its role and cut our electricity source. So it wasn't good for our business.
In the absence of signatories, there will be delays in check preparation. But with ADA, you don't need a signatory. We don't have to experience those kind of delays anymore.
Hindi ka na magpipin ng cheque para ibayad directly sa Meralco or business center. Hindi na kami kailangan pumila sa business center or any bayad center. It saves time.
It helped us streamline our payment processes because with the ADA, we get a notification so that even before the due date, we already know how much we're going to pay. Our AP processors can attest to it that the ADA lessen their work of monitoring. They can schedule freely on the payment for other suppliers.
ADA has been very helpful to Insular Life. It's helpful because Union Bank now takes care of issuing the BIR Form 2307 to Meralco. That is also one less thing to worry about. That means we are able to devote more time to other tasks.
The company decided to sign for it to have peace of mind.
We wanted to save time in processing payments. Another is we also wanted to cut out stress in the issuance of the BIR Form 2307.
If I can summarize the benefits that we received, 3 words: efficiency, savings, convenience. Efficiency, obviously, because of the auto debit arrangement, we were able to streamline our process internally. We are now able to channel our resources, our energy, to the core of our business, which is to provide water and used water services to our customers. Savings, obviously, with this streamlined process, we're able to significantly reduce our man hours. The transaction cost for processing our payments has significantly reduced. And then finally, convenience. Before, my colleagues would have to make sure that I am at the office to sign at certain times of the day to make sure that our payments are in just in time. But now we don't have to worry about that anymore. Everything's automated, so we're very happy with Meralco's 8A facility.
ADA is the most practical payment method. It cuts out the stress of due dates, it lessens your workload, and gives you more time to doing other things.
I highly encourage them to enroll. Malaking tulong sa company, mas marami na-accomplish na work. Mas nagiging productive sila.
I definitely would recommend that they also do this. Apply with the Meralco's ADA. The payment process will definitely decrease, and as well as the monitoring processes.
Pleasant afternoon to everyone, to our valued customers and business partners. Welcome to the Enterprise webinar of the Meralco Bill, a briefer understanding its components and convenient payment options. I am Mia Marquez, Meralco Relationship Manager, handling accounts from Jollibee Foods Corporation, malls like Fisher Mall, Primark, and My Mall, to name a few, and I am under the food and beverage industry of the corporate business group. It gives me a great pleasure to guide you through this very interesting engagement that I believe is very timely. As you may have seen in our invitation, this webinar will focus on billing and payment for Meralco corporate bills, and towards the end of the webinar, we will be conducting a breakout session so you will be enlightened on how your company can enroll to your preferred bank's auto payment requirements. I hope that our reception in Microsoft Teams is clear and crisp. I'd suggest you use a headset or wear an earphone for best audio quality. Our webinar will run for about an hour and a half, so best to find a perfect quiet spot where you can focus and be able to participate in the virtual discussion. We just have a few reminders for our customers joining us today. We would like to inform everyone that this meeting will be recorded for data keeping, data quality assurance, and for learning purposes related to the subject matter to be discussed. Throughout this webinar, please feel free to type your questions and comments on the chat box. We also encourage everyone to identify themselves so that we can acknowledge you properly. After our speaker presents, we will then proceed to our Q&A, wherein we will best answer your questions. Please be reminded to avoid personal details such as posting your service ID number, address, or mobile number in the chat. Additionally, if you prefer, you can have your Meralco bill with you so that you can readily follow all the direction and the discussion. And again, please ensure that you are streaming this webinar from a comfortable and cool area that has strong internet connectivity to ensure that the sound and visuals are crisp and clear. If the broadcast is a bit blurry from your end, we hope you can find a better place where the internet is stronger. And to officially welcome all of us into this virtual event, please welcome the head of the corporate business group of Meralco, Ms. Bernice Garcia Rama.
Hi, good afternoon to all. and a pleasant day to all of you, our valued customers and business partners and my colleagues from Meralco. I hope that you, your businesses, and most of all your families are keeping safe as we continue to recover from this pandemic. I wish to also acknowledge the presence of our key presenters today, especially the participants from our partner banks. Thank you. Thank you very much for joining us today at this Meralco's webinar, wherein we hope to guide our customers, all of you here, in understanding the components of the Meralco bill and to be enlightened on convenient payment options through auto payment solutions from various partner banks. As people have been easing back to the outside world, the economy and workforce are determined to bounce back, which is why in this webinar, we would like to share with you how to better appreciate the components of Meralco Bill and offer solutions that can help you optimize businesses, especially in this new normal. There will be breakout rooms later so you can address your payment options with your chosen bank. Working with you, our customers, during these times of uncertainty remains our top priority. We hope that in this webinar, we would be able to address your business concerns and ultimately continue being your partner in navigating through this new world. So maraming salamat po sa lahat, and may we have a productive session today. God bless you.
Thank you, Ms. Bernice. Before we proceed with the program, I would like to acknowledge the presence of the following banks and their representatives. They will be our speakers for their respective breakout rooms later on this webinar. Starting off with our friends from Banco de Oro, Bank of the Philippine Islands, China Bank, Metro Bank, Philippine National Bank, Rizal Commercial Banking Corporation, Robinsons Bank, Security Bank, and Union Bank Philippines. Thank you so much, dear moms and sirs, for taking the time to be with us and our customers today. Moving along to our program, I believe this afternoon is going to be a well-spent virtual time for all of us, because we are in the company of the perfect resource person who can shed light on our key topics. Let us all give a warm welcome to our relationship manager from the utilities industry team of the Corporate Business Group. Please welcome Ms. Sarah Abigail Reyes.
All right, thank you, Mia, for that introduction. And good afternoon to everyone. I hope you're all doing well today. So our topics for today are understanding the Meralco bill components and the payment options for our enterprise clients. So my presentation will be split into two parts. First will be on the billing, wherein I'll be discussing the power supply chain to give you an idea on Meralco's role in providing electricity to customers. And next is on the unbundled electric bill. So a visual representation on the components of the Meralco bill will be shown later. And last, under billing, will be an overview on the new Meralco bill for business business or corporate customers. Then on the second part will be about the payment options for our corporate customers, and also an overview of the automatic payment arrangement. So just feel free to place your questions in the chat box so we can discuss them later during the question and answer session. All right, so let's proceed with the power supply chain. The power supply chain is a network of stakeholders involved in the production of power, or what we call generation. So, and also there's transmission of power, the delivery of power or distribution, and the consumption of power or the end users. An issue at any point in the supply chain can cause a lot of problems, and that can affect the whole chain. So in this video, you will see how the power supply chain works. And so now let's watch the video.
Today we're going to talk about the power supply chain. The power supply chain looks like this and has four main stakeholders: the generation, transmission, distribution, and the end users. So how does the power supply chain work, and how does it affect power quality? First, the generation companies have to produce power. Then, the generated power flows through the transmission grid towers and sends it to distribution utilities like Meralco, who then delivers it to the end users. If there's a problem at any point in that chain, then you get power quality problems. There could be a shutdown in the power plant, a down transmission line, or there could be a problem with the end user's electrical system. Issues from any stakeholders can affect the power quality in the entire system. And that's when you get poor or bad power quality. With good power quality, everything just works. When you have bad power quality, equipment doesn't run, or worse, it can end up damaging your equipment.
The new Meralco bill for business.
All right, so thank you, Kairos, for discussing the power supply chain. So I do hope you were all able to understand how power is being delivered to your homes and offices as well. So coming from what we've learned about the power supply, chain, let's now talk about the components of your Meralco bill. The power supply chain is mirrored by the unbundled electric bill as seen in this slide. So when you look at your Meralco bill, you can see the charges from generation, transmission, and distribution. The common notion by customers is that all their payment for the electric bill goes to the distribution utility. However, it actually goes to different entities, and only about 20% of your bill basically goes to Meralco. The stakeholders of the power supply chain shown earlier also have their respective charges. And Meralco is responsible for collecting all these charges so that you won't need to worry about many different entities collecting payment from you. So as an overview, this is the average share of each charge per bill. Generation takes up around 52% of your bill, while transmission charges at around 10.1%. Taxes are around 11.7%, and other charges are about 5.7%. And as mentioned earlier, the remaining 20% goes to Meralco. So now let's discuss them one by one. First is the generation charge. So this is the cost of generating electricity, and it goes to our power generators. So these are the likes of SMC Global Power, Aboitiz Power, SEM Calaca, FPH, Panay Energy, and the Wholesale Electricity Spot Market, or WESM. So next is the transmission charge. This is the cost of delivering electricity from the power generators to Meralco's distribution system. So the power generators are usually located in the provinces or in remote areas outside of Meralco's franchise area. So the transmission network allows the movement of large amounts of power over long distances. So just to give our participants an idea, these transmission lines are those very tall towers that you see when you pass by NLEX, SLEX, or other similar thoroughfares. So anyway, the said transmission charge goes to the National Grid Corporation of the Philippines, or NGCP. There are also taxes and universal charges that are incorporated in our bill. So with an average share of 11.7%, here is the breakdown of the said charges. So this is a value-added tax, local franchise tax, missionary electrification and environmental charge, and the feed-in tariff allowance, which is set by the Department of Energy to encourage renewable energy developments and investments. So there are also other components like the lifeline discount, senior citizen discount, and system loss. The lifeline discount or subsidy is a socialized project pricing mechanism that benefits the marginalized customers. So discounts to these customers are subsidized by all other customers of Meralco. And then the senior citizen discount is primarily for the elderly. So for as long as the residential service is under, for as long as the service is under the name of the senior citizen. And last is the system loss. So this refers to the cost recovery of power lost due to the technical and non-technical system losses. Okay, lastly, the distribution or Meralco charge. So this is the cost of delivering electricity from the transmission lines or system to the end users. May it be residential, MSMEs, commercial, or industrial customers. So this is composed of the distribution, metering, and supply charges. The distribution charge pays the cost of building, operating, and maintaining the distribution system of Meralco. So, which brings power from the high voltage transmission grid to the end users. And then the metering charge is the cost of the reading, operating, and maintaining of the power metering facilities. And last is the supply charge. So this is the cost of rendering services to customers such as billing, collection, customer assistance, and other associated services. So with the information on the power supply chain and the components of the Meralco bill, I will now proceed to the next topic, which is understanding the new bill for our business customers. So why did we improve our bill? So as shared by our own first Vice President and Chief Commercial Officer of Meralco, Mr. Ferdinand Helus, we conducted research and banked on consumer feedback to provide a bill format that we hope provides complete information that encourages energy efficiency. So what did we find out about our old bill? So with the proper market research, we found out that the old bill format was very hard to read and understand. So thus, the people tend to overlook a lot of the important details in the bill. Also, based on the foot traffic study done in the business centers, about 50% who transact with Meralco are household heads aged 45 and above. So that means that around 50% of the bill readers needed their reading glasses to see the small font of on the old bill. Okay, so as part of Meralco's customer centricity efforts, we fixed those problems, and with the additional insights we have gathered from our customers, we've improved our Meralco bill to first enhance readability, and then second is to keep customers better informed. And last is to make customers smarter with power usage. So here in this slide is a sample of the new bill for businesses. So in the next slide, let's watch a video on how to better understand this bill.
The new Meralco bill for businesses. It's clear and packed with more information. Let's take a closer look at how it can help your business be more efficient. With the new Meralco bill for businesses, all your important payment details are now together in this sky blue section. The cool color and bigger font make for hassle-free reading. In this section, you'll find your bill demand and actual consumption. Your monthly kilowatt-hour rate is now also easier to track. And so is your load factor, which determines if you will benefit from the peak-off-peak program. If you're qualified to shift to the contestable market, use your bill as proof of contestability. You now have up to 24 months of historical consumption data to help you better understand your operating cycle and plan ahead for expenses. Over here is a comparison of your consumption for the previous month versus the current month, as well as your actual demand versus your minimum billing demand, which can tell you if you're optimizing your electrical facilities. And Power Factor helps you see if you're using electricity efficiently. Keep this number above 85. You'll also know how your business consumption affects the environment, so you can explore more earth-friendly ways of doing business. At the back, you can verify what bills you've paid and what remains unpaid, and see how much your actual consumption and bill demand contribute to your total bill. With all these, you can make more informed decisions for your company. The new and improved Meralco bill for businesses, giving more power to you.
All right. Now that we have thoroughly discussed the Meralco bill, let us now proceed to the next section of my presentation, which is on payment. So first up is on payment options. Okay, so for business customers, you may pay for your Meralco bill via these three options. So one is by visiting our Meralco business centers. You may check out Meralco's website or Facebook page for the complete details of our addresses and schedule of your preferred branch. So second is by visiting our customer payment office, which is temporarily located at the Meralco Power Lab at the Meralco compound in Pasig. And last is to for you to apply an automatic payment arrangement. So you can sign up for the said payment scheme through your credit card, chosen credit card banks. Okay, so now what payment options fall under the automatic payment arrangement? So there are two categories under the automatic auto payment arrangement. So these are auto debit arrangement or ADA and auto charge arrangement or ACA. So for auto debit arrangement, your Meralco bill will automatically be debited from your savings account once the due date is reached. Okay, so the banks offering the auto debit arrangement are AUB, BDO, BPI, China Bank, PNB, RCBC, Robinsons Bank, Security Bank, Union Bank, and UCPB. And on the other hand, for the auto charge arrangement, your Meralco bill will automatically be charged to your credit card earlier than the due date. So for the banks offering the auto charge arrangement, these are BDO, BPI, East West Bank, Equicom, Metro Bank, PNB, RCBC, Security Bank, and Union Bank. So later in this webinar, we have invited our partner banks to give a thorough discussion on your preferred auto payment arrangement scheme so that you will know how to process the applications for your company's Meralco bills. So what is the billing and payment process for auto payment arrangements? Okay, so there are basically 4 important dates to consider for this process. So the billing process begins with the meter reading date. So this is our day 1. And then on the 3rd day, this should be the bill delivery date. Well, that is except for those accounts under group billing or those grouped accounts. And for those on auto charge arrangement, this is when the payment is charged to the customer's enrolled credit card. And then on day 10, this is the bill due date. So this is when the banks notify Meralco for any return or rejected transactions. And for those on auto debit arrangement, this is when the payment is debited from the customer's enrolled debit card. And finally, on day 11, this is when the bank send the BIR 2307 forms to Meralco. Okay, so let's move on to the overview on the enrollment or cancellation of automatic payment arrangements. So the high-level process involves basically 4 steps. So first, the bank will send the enrollment or cancellation request to Meralco. And then Meralco processes the said request. And then next, Meralco sends the feedback of the request to the bank. And then finally, the bank informs the customer on the status of the enrollment or the cancellation. So please note that the application is between you, our customers, and your preferred banks and not directly with Meralco. So also, please be advised that when you enroll to the auto payment arrangement, you should have no outstanding bills as of the time of the enrollment. Okay, so that's it for me. I do hope I was able to provide knowledge and insights on the Meralco bill and the payment options available for business customers. So again, I am Sarah Reyes, Relationship Manager for the Corporate Business Group of Meralco. Thank you all for listening and good day to all. Back to you, Mia.
Thank you, Sarah, for that very enlightening presentation. At this point, we'll now proceed with a quick Q&A portion before we open the breakout rooms. But first, allow me to introduce our panelists. Of course, first we have our speaker, Ms. Sarah Reyes. Then we have Ms. Desi Mina, the Consumer Industry Lead of the Corporate Business Group. Then we have Mr. Adrian Nasser, Officer of Customer Payments Team. And lastly, Mr. Adrian Victorino, Officer of the Billing and Operations Analytics Team. Again, feel free to type your questions and comments. We encourage you to identify yourself so that we can acknowledge you properly. I shall now read the comments and questions of our viewers. For our first question, this is for Ms. Sarah Reyes. Sarah, what is the main advantage of enrolling to auto payment arrangement or APA? Again, what is the main advantage of enrolling to auto payment arrangement or APA? Ms. Sarah?
Thank you, Mia, for that question. So the main advantage of enrolling to the auto payment arrangement is this is a very convenient payment method. So this ensures the timely payment of your bills since the banks pay it on your behalf. So whether you charge the bill to your credit card or you debit it from your bank, it basically gets paid as soon as the due date is reached. So that's it.
Thank you very much for that well-explained answer, Miss Sarah. Now for our second question, this is for Miss Bezzy Nina. For a while. This is from Ferds from Watson's. We are into sustainability programs and we wanted to know how many percent in terms of percentage share of power is coming from renewable source, examples solar or hydro. Again, from Fritz of Watson's, we were into sustainability programs and we wanted to know how many percent in terms of percentage share of power is coming from renewable source, be it solar or hydro. Spezzy?
Yes, thank you for that question, Sir Ferds from Watson. Hello, good afternoon. Yeah, to answer that question, currently Meralco has a 5% share on the renewable energy source. So, but according to DOE, their main plan is actually to have a 50% renewable energy source by 2040. So we are very looking forward to that plan of DOE. Thank you. I hope I answered your question.
Thank you, Miss Bezzy. For our third question, this is for Mr. Adrian Michael Nasser. For corporate accounts with operating retail stores, is there an option for consolidated billings to be sent to their central office? This is also from Sir Ferds of Watson's. Sir Adrian?
Yes, thank you, Miss Mia. Good afternoon, Mr. Ferds. For your question, there is an option for consolidated billing. You can coordinate this with your relationship manager and your assigned payment specialist. So to discuss this option, this possible option. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Sir Adrian. And then we have a question for Mr. Ian Victorino. It goes, I enrolled in your online billing service. Will I still receive a paper copy of my bills? Sir Ian? Okay. Sir Ian, allow me to repeat the question. And it goes, I enrolled in your online billing service. Will I still be receiving a paper copy of my bills?
Sorry, I was on mute.
Yeah.
Yes, the customer will still receive no copy of their paper bills.
Okay. Thank you very much for that answer, Sir Ian. We have another question, and this is for Mr. Again, for Sir Adrian Nasser. We want to know more about group accounts, online billings, and payments. Can you quickly or briefly share anything about this, Sir Adrian?
For online billing, I think you have to be enrolled under Meralco Online. So I think your relationship manager can help you with that. For payments, we have options other than automatic payment arrangements that is available for you. You may also enroll on under Meralco Online. So you can pay your bills through credit card and other payment options. And these options are also available through our online banking partners. I hope I answered your question. Thank you.
Thank you, Sir Adrian. Now for our sixth question, I think this is for Miss Sarah. This was discussed earlier, no? Pero we can repeat siguro. What are the basic requirements for APA or APA? Miss Sarah?
Okay, so it's actually, as mentioned in the presentation, the application is basically between our clients and the bank. So since Meralco cannot really intervene in the application process, but basically the bank would initially require you to fill out a form for them depending on what payment scheme you prefer. It's either auto charge or auto debit. So that all the requirements would depend on the chosen scheme. So that is also different the banks also require different also have different processing they also process different, so that's why we want also for our customers to contact their banks directly.
Okay, thank you very much, Miss Sarah. For our next
Miss Mia,
question,
can I
yes,
add?
yes, yes. Okay,
Uh,
go ahead.
for the process as well for the basic requirements of APA, the customer should give or share their customer account number so that the
Mhm.
bank can process seamlessly.
Sorry, Adrian, I'd like to clarify lang, but this will be between the customer and the bank. No involvement whatsoever from Meralco. Is that it?
That's correct.
Okay, okay.
Yes.
So we're clear on that. This will be between the customer and the bank. Okay. For our next question, we have from Mr. Jeffrey Bernardo. This is for Miss Bezzy Mina. Our company is eligible for choosing preferred renewable energy supplier. What benefits can we obtain from this? Miss Bezzy?
Yes, thank you for that, Mr. Jeffrey Bernardo. Congratulations on that. Yes, of course, you can choose any of the electricity supplier. You mentioned that it's renewable energy, so I guess you are eligible already for GEOP or Green Energy Supplier Auction Program. So the main benefit is you can already haggle on what rate you want, what applies, and of course, what kind of sustainability program that you currently have in your company. You can also ask that to the retail electricity supplier that you are going to choose. That's the main objective or benefit if you're already eligible for GEO or ARCOA.
And of course, Miss Bessie, they always have their respective relationship managers, no?
Yes.
Who can always assist them whenever they have questions. Now, moving on with
you.
our, thank you. Moving on with our questions. Okay. We have another question for Mr. Adrian Nasser. If we choose to pay through ADA, will the bank require the BIR 2307? Thank you. That's a
If
question.
you're yes, thank you for that, Miss Mia. If you are a authorized withholding agent identified by the RBIR, yes, you are needed to require to submit the BIR 2307. There are bank partners that offer the CWT printing facility, the BIR 2307 facility. You may also inquire with them, or you can submit the BIR 2307 form at the nearest collecting office, Meralco collecting office.
Okay. Stay muna tayo, Sir Adrian. Here's another question from Ms. Janela of Belleville Development. What if we will not enroll to ACA, but we will be using our credit card? Do we have to submit, and how can we submit our 2307? Again, this is again for Sir Adrian Asurino from Janela of Belleville Development. What if we will not enroll to ACA, but we will use our credit card? How are you going to submit our 2307? Will it be through our respective will it be through our respective relationship managers, or we can just submit to the nearest business center?
To clarify, Miss Janela, yes, you need to submit the 2307 if you're not enrolled under the auto charge agreement. That's correct. You may submit through through any Meralco collecting office, your relationship manager, or your assigned payment specialist. You may coordinate with them. I hope that answers your question.
Okay. So there's also another question coming from Miss Yula of Fisher Mall. Almost similar question, but this is through Ada. She's also asking if how can they submit their Form 2307? So as explained by Sir Adrian, you can always submit to your nearest business center. Mas accessible sila. You can just bring it to the business center and then they can email it to you, your relationship manager or through our payments team. Okay. For next question, is it necessary for Meralco to collect the 2307? This is for Miss Sarah.
Sorry, Mika, can you repeat the question
Yes.
again?
For Ada and Aka, is it necessary for the 2307 to be submitted to Meralco?
Thank you for that question, Mia. Yes, it is necessary to submit the BIR 2307 form to Meralco since this is also a form of payment per se. So basically, you pay the portion of the bill through it's either through ADA, for example, and then the portion of the BIR form will only be settled once you submit to Meralco the form itself. So that's the time that we post it in our system. So that's the answer to the question.
Thank you, Miss Sarah. For our next question, this is for Miss Ian Victorino. Since my Meralco bill is based on a meter reading, how can you assure us that our reading is correct or our meter are being read correctly by the meter reader? Sir Ian?
Yes. Hi. Our meter readers are trained to read your meters accurately. They're also provided tools and necessary equipments to help them capture reading of your meters accurately. Yan po.
A follow-up question
Mia,
on that.
Mia, if I
Yes.
could add to that,
Okay, go ahead.
add to that from the answer of Ian, yes, we can assure you that the meter reading of your bills is accurate. You can also see that on a monthly basis on the first page of your bill. So there, on the left part of your first page of your bill, indicated there is the previous and present reading. And then you can also check it in your actual meter, if it's somewhat the same. So there, you can double check it on a monthly basis through your bill. Thank you.
Thank you, Sir Ian and Miss Desi. For our next question, this is for Miss Sarah. Hello and good afternoon. This is Felix from Pure Gold. How can you obtain official receipt from Meralco if you enrolled under APA?
Okay,
Miss
thank
Sarah?
you. Yes, thank you for that question, Felix from Pure Gold. Okay, so if you're enrolled under the auto payment arrangement, you can request for a copy of the official receipt from our payment partner. So that is from our customer payments team. So what the customers can do is email the request to our payments team, and then they will print the official receipt for you. That's it.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone, and thank you also to our panelists. Wait, we still have one question. Two more questions. For a while. It is from Abby M. And it reads, hi, good afternoon. This is Abby from Rockwell. If we pay Meralco via ADA ACA, this is repeat question already. This was answered earlier. This is for Miss Bezzy. Our company's operation have been reduced due to the pandemic, but our Meralco bill remains very high because of the GMBD, or the guaranteed minimum billing demand. What can we do to reduce our electricity cost? Miss Bezzy?
Thank you for that question, Mia. Yes, we do understand that most businesses has been affected by the pandemic. If your actual kilowatt demand is already below the guaranteed minimum billing demand, or GMBD, we highly recommend that you request a reduction of load so that we can adjust your contract based on your actual demand. Please do coordinate with your relationship manager, or so that he or she can assist you to evaluate your load and do the necessary contract right sizing. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that, Miss Bezzy. I think we've covered almost everything. So thank you, everyone, and thank you also to our panelists for joining us today. We hope that we were able to clarify if and covered most, if not all, of the questions. For questions that we were not able to address, you can always contact your relationship manager for clarifications. We will now proceed in the opening of the breakout rooms with our participating banks. Kindly note that the whole session will run for a total of 30 minutes, which includes the presentations and Q&A with you. Our very own enterprise relationship managers will be moderating the session assigned to them. Afterwards, we will be coming back to the main webinar room for the closing remarks. For our Meralco attendees here with us today, we have randomly assigned you to the breakout rooms, as well as you can also have a chance to listen and participate with the different banks during the session. Just some reminders before you enter your rooms. If you wish to go back to the main webinar room, please click the return button. If ever you left your breakout room accidentally and you wish to go back to your respective rooms, please click the join room button on the top of your screens. Or if you encounter technical issues, kindly leave and rejoin MS Teams instead. Our marketing and ICT partners will be standby to resolve the issue. Finally, if ever you finish your breakout sessions early, you may choose to either return to this main webinar room or to just stay in your breakout room so you could chat a bit more with our bank partners. The session will automatically close exactly after 30 minutes. Thank you, and see you all again later. And welcome back. Thank you to our partner banks and customers for your participation. Thank you also to our dear relationship managers for moderating their respective breakout rooms. We certainly have a lot to talk about, but I think we managed to cover most, if not all, of the subjects in that very fruitful discussion. Now, we would like to ask everyone to switch on their cameras and smile for a group photo so we can capture this momentous event with our partners. We will request everyone again to please turn on your camera and smile for a group photo. Waiting for the others to open their cameras, please. Okay, on my cue. 1, 2, 3, smile, please. One more. 1, 2, 3, and smile. And let's take another one. Okay. 1, 2, 3, and smile. Okay, one more shot. Smile for the camera. 1, 2, 3, and smile. Okay, guys, thank you very much. At this moment, we would like to call Sir Wilson Manzano, the manager of our customer payments team, for his closing remarks. Sir Wilson? Good afternoon, Sir Wilson.
Good afternoon. Thank you, Mia. Thank you again to all our partners now in joining this webinar, especially the banking and financial industry for this webinar today. And we all know that collaborations like this is the only beginning, no? This webinar is a testimony of Meralco's commitment to our customer centricity. Alam naman natin na the company is evolving because the needs of our customers is also evolving or continually changing. So as a company of providing end-to-end energy sales, energy solutions, we want to continue to provide values and also continue to innovate so that our customers will be able to expand and also improve their business as well. And also we want them to simplify the means of their doing business. We, as Meralco, we continue to help and keep the lights on to our homes and also to our businesses, to our customers. More power to you and all, to all your families and to our leaders here today. Stay safe and healthy always. Thank you and good afternoon to all.
Thank you, Sir Wilson. And thank you again to all of our business customers for joining us today. And with that, we officially conclude this afternoon's webinar. We hope to see you all again in our future engagements. But before you go, we're sharing the QR code and the link to the feedback form. Please complete this form to let us know how Meralco can best help and guide you. Once more, we urge you to get in touch with your respective relationship manager if you have any more queries or worries so that we can assist and guide you. We also encourage you to join our exclusive Viber community for enterprise customers, wherein you can receive relevant updates regarding your business accounts. Just scan the QR code being flashed on your screen. Again, I am Mia Marquez, your host for today. Good afternoon and stay safe, everyone. Thank you very much.